guys, what's going on? Undercog here. Welcome back to my channel once again. If you are a returning subscriber, if you're a new subscriber, welcome. Today I am here with something called Heroes and Generals, which is, if you guys don't know, Heroes and Generals is a combined first-person shooter and strategy video game in a World War II setting. It's published by Square Enix and is developed by an independent studio called Retomoto, which was founded by some of the original founders of IO Interactive and the people from the Hitman series. So if you love the Hitman series, you'll find out that some of the people who were founders of that made this game, or part of the founders of the independent studio that published it. But the developers of this game call it a mass participation game, in contrast to a traditional massive multiplayer online or MMO. Where the action takes part in the FPS part of the game reflects into the strategy part as well. And basically what you're seeing is some gameplay of me from today, from when I was recording this, of me in a tank. And the tank is a type of, there's different types of classes on this game. You get infantryman, recon, fighter pilot, tankman, tank crewman, general, which is the highest you can reach, which is quite important in some cases, but in other cases, if you don't want to play it, then you just don't select it. Once you reach levels required for the different classes, you can select that class. It costs a certain amount of coin, which you get through battles. So if you're looking sort of like a Battlefield Hardline type of feel, where it's you get cash pretty much, or in this case coins, end of a battle, which allows you to buy stuff. This can allow you to buy weapons, vehicles, and all that. With it being a free-to-play game that's on Steam, there will be a pay-to-play type of thing where you can buy stuff if you don't want to grind out. But in my opinion, I personally like the grinding out part. I think it's actually quite fun. It also makes, because if I don't want to spend so much money to a game that I might not come back to in a couple of years' time, which I don't think will happen with Heroes and Generals because it's a ever-moving game. It's quite new to the Steam area. It's not that many people have played it. I'd say there is quite a few people who do play it, but I don't think there's quite a lot of people who know it compared to the amount of people who actually are on Steam to this day. Basically, what you basically this is the tank screen that you can see right now from me. It's me in, basically I'm trying to take out another tank, and you'll notice in the bottom right corner I've got the amount of shells I have. I've got high explosive, armor piercing, and light machine gun. So high explosive, what it usually be normally used for is anti-infantry, armor piercing, tanks, and the MG infantry as well. If you don't feel like using explosives. There are a few different types of tiers of tanks on this game. This is the Stuart, which is the second tank you unlock. The first is something like a recon one, which has armor piercing bullets and, mainly armor piercing bullets mainly, which can take out Stuarts, but also the tank below that, which is like the tank that's firing at me now. If you notice, my health as well in the bottom left corner was going down because I was being shot by a tank through a tree, and that was basically that. And the death screen's sort of different because it appears up with what they were using, their name, what type of side they're on. With Heroes and Generals, there are three different basically teams. There is the USA, the Russian, and the Germans. I play on the USA because it's the closest thing I can get to British, pretty much. There are different types of vehicles in this game. You have the tanks, the aircraft, the bikes, the cars, the parachute planes, which also fly across the map if you're a parachute person. This game, it's sort of special with certain type of features it's got. It's a unique feature that will set apart from other World War II games. The use of vast terrain vegetation will allow players to hide in brush and tall grass without worrying being spotted by snipers, which are the recon classes. But you can also find snipers dotted around the map occasionally. They're not marked on a map, which you can pull up though if you do press M. If you see realize right now, it's, even though I'm in a tank I can still get out, become a normal gunner. I got out because I was about to get killed. You see, I just picked up an enemy's Gewehr, which is their type of carbine rifle, should I say. And I ran into an enemy, of course, and died. And he was using the BAR, which is an American submachine gun, which he probably picked up from a teammate. This is pretty much what the respawn screen always looks like whenever you're playing. You can choose the ones that have these stars around it, which is basically your 2 home bases. The enemy have 2 as well at the same time, which they can capture and you can capture as well. Basically, this game mode here that I was playing was Assault, and my team was part of a defending team, except the attacking team we were against wasn't doing that well, mainly because we had armor superiority over them, because we eliminated their main tank people right at the start of the game. With this game, it's based on, it's sort of like a Medal of Honor type of thing with the fire teams. You see the guy on the orange arrow there? That's the teammate who's in my fire team with me. He's basically the person. And you saw that little spark that hit the screen then? That was some guy who tried to shoot me and basically tried to take me out. Which is the danger part to a tank drive, is if you're outside, basically doing the third person view of a tank, and you get hit in the head, you're pretty much dead. And if a guy is smart enough and he has the lockpick, which every vehicle in the game can be lockpicked into, but it's basically a thing that takes time. If you see right there, look, my teammate was had a person plant some C4 onto him, and you notice I wasn't able to shoot him at the start because I pretty much hadn't loaded my high explosive, and this part here was where I literally went on a rampage with the tank, killing a lot of people using the high explosive. And it's the thing with the tanks is they do take a bit of skill to get used to with the bullet drop and the because it's, if you count it to the Battlefield case when you've got bullet basically distance and travel time. You see there, the guy who was behind that tree was trying to avoid me, and I finally actually got him. Same as these guys down here, you spot guy luckily moved out the way, but this guy, so you get the wounded and you get armor action points pretty much based on how well you're efficiently using your tanks. And right here, I hit that guy right in there. I was aimed a little bit ahead of him to judge for his movement speed. So it's pretty much a thing on here. But I think future features to come to this game will also have a campaign, various vehicles, and various small details which make it comparable to games such as Battlefield series or the Call of Duty series. Also, the game command mode will allow you to play using a tablet or smartphone. So it's got a device in iOS sort of like integration to it, except they'll have a different role into the game, which they are commanders or people who move troops and assault teams, call in airstrikes, etc. It's basically Heroes in General has been developed using Retromoto's own browser-based 3D game engine called Retox, and is currently in early beta stage. Development model is referred to as user-driven development. So basically, they are developing the game per to how people are reviewing it for them, how they think it's going. So that's how this game has pretty much been reviewed for. That's how they're developing it. So it's pretty much it's what I like to see is community games that are made for the community and that are developed based on what the community want. So basically, they give you a basic outline of what the game is, and they say, well, if you want what you want, and we'll put it into future updates. So it's hoping to get it's basically they're hoping to get feedback from the players, the developers are. It's been around for quite a while, but it basically on the 7th of October 2011 they released the first teaser trailer for the game as an exclusive video on Game Trailers, but on Steam as of July 11th 2014 as a pre-release beta, available for free to play for anyone with a Steam account, as that was when it first came out. So it hasn't been around long. It's been around just for under a year, but I don't think a lot of people have actually heard about this game. We've had a lot of different references to these games from people. From a lot of game review websites. Some I'm pulling one up here. It's Battlefield 1942 in 2011 with the strategic stuff to boot from Destructoid.com, which is pretty much someone who decided to reference it to a different type of game, like the Battlefield, which is sort of a funny one to do. But I can see where they're coming from with the Battlefield stuff based on the gameplay with the bullet drop movements and all that. If you realise right here, me and this teammate were on top of a hill. We had realised actually what we were trying to capture was the red triangle there, which is the enemy's last spawn point. Basically, because we were so close to their spawn though, they could come up from behind us, which is what happened, I think, later on. Yeah, like, see, he's got, like, there you go. I literally died because some guy came up from behind us, and they didn't realise it. Yeah, back to respawn screen. If you see there, I was on a pretty good rampage. I was on 30 something to 3 deaths. I don't think I die again in this game, but it is quite a fun game, I will say. I think what the next thing I was doing was me and a couple of teammates going to go around behind them because they realised that we were coming from one side, so we went, I want to come from behind for once and see how they deal with that. So this game it's based on strategy, which is why that map is there, so it lets you see this. As you can see from the top right, it is still in beta. This game is. It's a very fun game from my own experience. I've had a lot of fun with it. It hasn't got boring for me. As well as like with the pay to play the pay to win type of stuff. I can see why some people don't like that, but the thing is, they've done a thing on this game where every day you log in and you play a battle. The first battle of the day gives you 4 gold, which is gold as their currency to buy stuff. But it's their premium currency, should we say? There is like a veteran, basically premium thing. You get you a veteran bonus, which like doubles your XP given, and it allows you to like if you see here this guy, like they realised we were starting to come from this one side, so they're all equipped in anti-tank grenades, and like you see, I literally almost got destroyed there, based from that one guy. But luckily enough for me, I had a friendly teammate tank behind me who was taking out any other people that come near us. So that guy there's also got an anti-tank grenade. He's trying to hide from me currently, which he does. And if you notice, like there's a second guy who was literally dead next to him there. That was because my teammate took him out. That guy there's got the upgraded version of the explosives, which are the one-hit tank killers. But the thing I do like about this game is they do have to get close to use them. But there are like landmines as well in this game as well, which they can use. There's like a guy behind me on a bike. They're trying to chase me. Lucky enough for me, a teammate took him out. As I was trying to just turn around on him, look back out, first person view quickly. Realised I wasn't there, and then decided to pop back in when I was safe and ready. Oh, there you go. I saw some bullets hit me from behind, so I decided to go back inside and became back to attacking again. As you see, starting to pick people off with the high explosive. I don't like mainly using machine guns for the reason why I don't see the point. But the thing is, this game mode here, there's 2 different game modes on this game. One is called Assault, and the other one is called, I'm not sure what the other one's called because I haven't played it so long, which you start off playing the other game mode first, until you reach rank 3, and then when you reach rank 3, they say, alright, you've got enough stuff unlocked, now, here you go, here's the 4 other maps that are based in the Assault game mode, where the planes come into effect and all that. Tanks are still available on the other mode, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not quite sure how much. Currently this game is only available on Microsoft Windows, and it's digitally downloaded only, so there's no like disc copies. So, and also I'd like to say it is free to play for you guys. So if you ever feel like getting this game, like if you notice here now, my teammates starting to go around the back, and I decided to join them in a second to come up from behind, which works out in our favour for us because it allows our team to actually capture the spawn point. Because if you know, see the assault team here, it's light armour, and my soldier's name on the left. You get 3 different types of soldiers. You get the American soldier, the Russian soldier, and then the German soldier. Each of them start out with different weapons. With a tankman, though, you start off with a submachine gun, because it's more effective for you, but it's more riskier, should I say, because you've got to actually run up close and get them. Where with the M1 Garand and all that, you can hit from far. Basically, I'm grinding out the tank until I reach recon stage, and then I'll be doing some recon stuff, basically using snipers and that lot. Because I'm a long distance type of person. That's why I like sitting in tanks as well. I can sit from long distance. I've used the snipers occasionally. I've used like the German sniper and the Russian sniper. I haven't used the US sniper unless you play the first ever the training mission they give you, which is First Blood mission, which is like their campaign type of style thing currently. So if you guys ever if you notice now, our teammates are starting to finally be able to attack the A point as we roll up round behind, because I think one of my teammates is already sat on a cliff engaging them. And the thing with this game though, it's like there will be spawn camping, but they do their best to keep it to a minimum by keeping you invisible for a 5-second period, which allows you to get like into cover on this game. Yeah, because our teammates pushing up, me and this guy coming up behind, so the guy who's sat behind me. Oh, not sat behind me, he's on the hill behind me. And we were coming across, and I noticed that guy with a little speck up the top next to that tree for the skyline. So he never stand next to the skyline because you stick out like a sore thumb. Took him out straight away, and then decided to go back over the train track to come up from behind to help my teammates deal with these. Anyway, so it's pretty much, it was a no. They weren't going to pull us back. There was no way they could. They didn't have enough people left to things. So basically, once that came, we'd pretty much won. So that's probably going to be the end of this game right here. This is the end of the screen, and I will thank you guys for watching, and I will see you again in the next episode. See ya.